We actually stand on the left-hand side of the Harry Mack because that's actually in England. If we stand on the right-hand side, we're actually in Wales, which is where with the border crossing. So because we're English, we always stand on the left-hand side of the Harry Mack because we're English.
When we were younger, obviously it was like, oh, Wrexham kind of thing, and it was very much English-Welsh. You go to the Wrexham matches, and for a long time we didn't really play them, but the atmosphere of going to one of those matches, for a long time, I think because I was a girl, I wasn't really allowed to go with my dad because my dad was obviously worried about violence and things like that. But when I actually was able to go, I think I was about 15, 16 the first time I went, and it was amazing.
Oh, I think there'll always be a rival, but it's good revenue for the clubs, very good revenue. You know, you're only half an hour away. It's this friction is only a handful of people on either side. You know, the majority of the fans are brilliant on both sides. It's just that minority.
You do get kind of embroiled into the English-Welsh thing. I mean, I'm from Wales. I lived in Wales all my life, but you just think, Wrexham, oh no.
That rivalry, I enjoy it, and I think we need it. But I actually went to college for 2 years in Wrexham, so I've got nothing against the Welsh. It's a fantastic place to be. So, but we need that rivalry. Every club needs that rivalry, don't they? So that was, you know, I've got no issue with it. Even though part of our grounds in Wales, it makes no odds to me.
We obviously take a lot of stick from clubs that come and say, you know, you're Welsh, and they just link us to Wales. When we went to Chorley, we got it. Everywhere we go, we get it. And it obviously, it's just banter, I guess, between fans, really.
I won't wear red. We've got red coats in work and I don't like wearing it because it's red. I refuse to have my nails done red. I won't have my nails done red or anything like that, even though I used to follow Liverpool. And theirs is obviously red. I just will not. No, just can't be doing with anything red.
I support the club because of my dad. We were the sons that he never had, and we used to come to the matches with him and used to love the atmosphere and love getting behind the goal and singing all the songs. It was just, we thought it was the best thing ever, and it's all his fault, so I blame him for when we got relegated, and I was like, this is your fault.
I'm quite a new fan to Chester Football Club. The first match I went to was the Cowan Bay match, which was the first match as the newly formed Chester Football Club, and since then I've been addicted.
I remember my dad taking us to Liverpool games, standing on the cop, getting squashed as a child, etc. Then I met my now husband, who used to follow Chester home and away. When we first started going out together, it was either him go to the football and me not see him, or just go and join him and go and watch it. So I thought, well, I might as well join him, go and watch it.
I say it was because when we first got married, I couldn't watch them play, but as soon as Tom finished playing, then we were there every Saturday. Well, it was our local. I think you should support your local club.
My family are divided, Manchester United and Liverpool, so I was never taken to a live game. The only sort of live games we went to, my cousin plays for Tranmere Rovers, so we went to watch Tranmere Rovers. So I've always been a fan, but a bit of an armchair fan really. But yeah, I love football. I met my husband through coming to Chester Football Club, so it's just a passion that we share together.
When I was coming up 17, my first game was against Wrexham with my dad. My feet ached, you know, going to my first match, oh boy. And the crowds then would be about 18,000. It would be from one side of the pavement right to the other, deep in people.
It was my dad who's heavily involved with the club, so he first took me to the club, but the old club was actually at Sealing Road, which is now the Toys R Us on the Greyhound Park. I always say to people I must have been a very naughty girl, and that's how I got into it, so it was my punishment, but it wasn't really a punishment. I've loved it. Obviously I've gone through a lot of ups, I've gone through many downs.
I remember once we were playing this team and we thought we'd get really thrashed, and we were in such a big queue, and there'd been 2 goals scored while we were in the queue, and we thought Chester were 2 down. When we got in, we were winning 2-0, we'd missed the goals.
There's nobody else really to follow. I mean, I've got Liverpool as my big team, but it's not the same. It's not as good football as lower league football. More interesting, lower league than Prem. There's too much money in the Premiership. No, only some of the facilities sometimes at the lower grounds, but yeah.
Premiership football, to me, is, yes, they're very skilled players, but there are also a lot of prima donnas in there. Where here in the lower leagues, the lads that play want to play. They're fighting for places.
One of the things is that I can afford to go to all the games, so I can go away, travel away, I can come to the home games. You're also very close to the players, so on occasion we've been able to speak to players, and I just think that Premier League football is not about football anymore, it's about the money, and it's not about the game, and you can feel that at Chester, that it's about the game and it's about the players, it's about the club, it's not about money here.
Especially in today's financial economy, it's more affordable for Joe Public to go and have a good afternoon out, really, or a good evening. So, and watch a decent game of football for the sake of watching football.
Towards the end when it folded, it wouldn't come because of what was going on. But as soon as the new season started, we come to the before season games. Yeah. It was really sad, really. Yeah.
It was heartbreaking to see what was going on, to know that it is such a community here, there's such a community spirit, and it had been sad to see such a club, and it was sad to see the club go.
I can't even think about it, to be honest. I mean, it's been part of my life for so long. To be honest, I don't think it never really enters your head. I think you just hope that something... I can't even imagine what it would have been like. I mean, what would I have done on my Saturdays? And what would I have done in the evenings? I would be horrible.
Being a Chester fan, we've had many, many, many downs, as many people will tell you, and the last season has just been unbelievable. We've got, at the end of the day, it's our club, it's not mine, it's not yours, it's our club, and that's the main thing, and that's what we all love it. We all love it.
It was devastation. I don't think we ever thought that it would rise from the ashes again. We didn't. But then I would have spent more weekends in the garden. Because sometimes I'd come here and I think to myself, such a lovely day. And I said to Evelyn, do you know what? Instead of being stuck in here, I could be out in the garden.
I guess I feel it more outside of football, so my friends don't understand why I follow football, they can't understand why I won't go shopping with them because I prefer to go to a game on a Saturday, so that's quite difficult.
I think in school you kind of had a lot of peer pressure, and there's a lot of obviously lads that support football teams and mainly Premiership, so when you said, oh yeah, I'm going to watch Chester the weekend, they were like, who are they? They're no good. But it was never an issue, and if anything I felt proud because I was a girl and you know more about football than most lads, and you can definitely say they've been to a lot more games.
I think there's a lot of stigma around women not understanding football, so I think there's still that feeling that the men that are here don't think that I understand what's going on the pitch, and I get the same at work, where you're a girl so you don't understand about football, so there is definitely still a stigma around females in football.
You hear bad language, you've just got to switch off, turn a deaf ear, because it is a man's game. It is a man's game. You didn't used to get this bad language. You never got the bad language that you get now, which is sad. You feel sorry for the youngsters because some parents will say, well, you're not going to listen to that.
If you haven't noticed, I'm very extrovert. I'm sort of in your face. You either get on with it or you don't. There is a lot of swearing, that sort of thing. You've got to appreciate that there's swearing on the terraces and things. Okay, it's not meant to be, but there is. So you sink, you swim, you just ignore it or you join in. I'll call them whatever. Not too rude, but I'll say my piece. I mean, I've got my family with me, my youngest daughter and my eldest daughter. My youngest daughter was actually registered as a junior blue at 6 hours old.
I think there will always be quite a divide, but it's nice to see that referees and lines people are female. We had a female referee about 2 weeks ago here. I don't think it'll ever, they'll ever really accept women in football.